How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We may be having a lot of money come into crypto here very soon, causing the price to spike even more than it is right now. I want to explain why that is, and it's not having to do with the Fed meeting next week, but we will take a look at that a little bit, give expectations, and take a look at the market overall. We did have a very good CPI print and some other good news that just came out, causing the market to push up in the short term. But again, there's some money that may be flowing in here very soon that could cause more of a price spike. So if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button underneath the video, I appreciate that. I really try to publish videos as quickly as possible. So earlier I did a video on the CPI print and talked about why the market was spiking, but now we can break it down a little bit more in depth and talk about other stuff as well. So turn on that bell notification if you want to know right when I post, right when I make some kind of announcement. You can join the Patreon underneath the video. Sometimes I buy and sell pretty quickly, and I can't make a video on it. If it's really important still, I can't make it very quickly. Prices can move very quickly in this kind of market too. So if you want to know that, you can check out that link. Now, Bitcoin up around 26,000, above 26,000, went to 26,400. Ethereum near 1,800. So many altcoins up as well, but Bitcoin's really leading this movement. You can see Bitcoin spiked right after the CPI print and went from 24,700 all the way up to 26,400 in a very short period of time. Ethereum did something very similar. You can see the last 4 days for Ethereum has been looking great though, from 1,400 up to 1,800 basically. Now there have been some liquidations that have been coming through. So we have 150 million in the last 4 hours. So a lot of shorts being liquidated, and Bitcoin dominance is going up. So it's above 45.5%. A lot of this has been coming down to just the fact that we got the CPI print. We got a 0.4% month over month, which was what was expected. We're down to 6%, which is the lowest since September of 2021 on the trailing 12 months. So we got a little bit of a decrease since January. I mean, this is still a pretty high month over month, but the majority of it is coming from still coming from housing. If you look here, food is a little bit lower since last month. It's 0.4%. Energy coming in at a negative 0.6%. Energy services down as well. Used cars down. The shelter is really what's so expensive. Shelter coming in at 0.8. Basically in line with where it's been every single month since August 2022, at least from what we can see here. So that's really what is causing the CPI to still be at 0.4. I mean, we know that there's a lag with shelter, but hopefully this will come down soon, and that would really cause inflation to come down quickly. We also got news about the real average hourly earnings for all employees, and it actually decreased 0.1% from January to February. So that is also causing the market to go up, I think, as well, because that means that there's less of a chance of inflation. You can see you can see a chart of the real hourly earnings here, and it's just been red for the last basically 2 years, causing people to not be able to spend as much, which sucks for employees. But you can see after several years, it's starting to cool down a little bit. Now, all this has been priced into the market, causing the market to spike up. Now there's a 16% chance that there is no Fed hike next week, and there's an 84% chance that we see 25 basis points. I would expect 25 basis points still. The Fed has been very clear that they're going to raise and continuously raise until inflation is under control, and I don't think inflation's necessarily under control yet, so I do think it would make sense for them to raise by 25 basis points, and the market is betting on that as well. Now, the market's also expecting that we might actually have to cut rates by the end of the year. I don't think that's as likely, but I do think that there is a lot of pain in the markets. I wouldn't be surprised if they raised by 25 basis points and then just held off for a while and saw how things unfolded and see if housing continues to come down or not, or starts to come down. Now, I did want to talk about the big amount of money flowing into crypto that could cause a spike, but I want to just bring this up because I think this is positive. Meta is laying off 10,000 employees. Now, the positive part is not that a ton of people are going to be out of work. That sucks for all the employees, but they grew too quickly. They're spending way too much on employee compensation and stock compensation. So I think this helps the company and the stock. They're laying off about 13% of their workforce, and the fact is they spend so much money. They should be a cash cow, but they're spending so much on employee compensation. They're spending so much to reinvest into R&D, and I think they need to be careful about how much they're spending. They really don't have much to show for it, at least from what I can tell. I don't think the product's really any better than it was a year ago, any other products, but I could be wrong. I could be missing something, but it seems like they haven't really done much and they've spent tens of billions of dollars. Now, let's get on to what could happen in crypto here soon, because everyone wants to know, is this a good time to be buying, or should we just be holding off? Should we be taking profits? So first of all, I think we have to realize that there are a lot of big things that are on the horizon that could cause crypto to fall a little bit, whether it's FUD with regulation, whether it is more of Operation Choke Point, basically the US cutting off the ability for money to get into crypto, whether it's some other black swan that we haven't seen. But we also are in a time where we're seeing exactly why Bitcoin was created in the first place. And I think this strengthens its case. Just like when we saw rampant inflation, that didn't help Bitcoin because we knew that there's going to be quantitative tightening, but we saw why Bitcoin was created, and it really showed some of the benefits of Bitcoin, the fact that you can't be inflated more than what it already says. Now, that being said, there still are a lot of bullish things as well, right? CZ has not even started to deploy funds yet. Basically, a few days ago, he said that they were going to convert BUSD into Ethereum, BNB, and Bitcoin. And they have $1 billion to do this, and they have not started yet. So this could cause the market to go up. Now, maybe they do it quietly. Maybe they can make some deals so that it doesn't push up the price as much, kind of like MicroStrategy does. They can do it over the counter. But, some of this, they said, would be on chain. I wouldn't be surprised if this spiked up the price of crypto. Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, then causing the rest of the market to go up as well. Now, maybe he doesn't do it right now because we are on quite a run, 8.3% over the last 24 hours. Maybe he waits for a little bit of a pullback. But that would also, I think that would stop us from falling down, basically. It'd be basically like a company doing share buybacks when their stock is falling. It helps boost the price. And I think that would be very similar. I think that could cause us to just, after a pullback, come right back up, especially if we tested this level that we had gotten stuck at before, this 25,300 level. And I'm not even showing it here, but a couple of weeks ago, we were around that level. And I think that would be definitely a catalyst to push us up even further if we bounced off this level here and then came right back up. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to move up once they start deploying. Now, that could also cause more liquidations, right? We've seen a lot of shorts liquidated. A lot of people are now calling for Bitcoin, or still calling for Bitcoin to hit $12,000 to $15,000, some $10,000, some $3,000. So I would not be surprised to see a squeeze where we quickly move up a couple more $1,000s. Now, I'm not going out of my way, as I've said a lot, right? I'm not going out of my way to invest a ton of money now that we've moved up, 80%, 60, 70% in the last couple months. I have been very careful to make sure that I continued to buy all the way down, and that I bought at the bottom, and that I bought as we were moving up a little bit. Now, I think if you don't have any exposure, it may be prudent to get some, but maybe just dollar cost average still. Now, I think Bitcoin dominance probably will continue to move up, at least a little bit higher from where we are now. So personally, again, I've been really just allocating towards Bitcoin for the most part. I have allocated to some altcoins, but just when I was getting out of other altcoins, I reallocated to other altcoins. It's not like I put new money into altcoins in a very, very long time. I think there will be a time for that, but I'm just a little bit cautious. Now, if Bitcoin goes back up to 40,000, I think dominance could still go up, but some alts will probably run, and then people will say, yeah, you should have bought this alt or this alt, XRP or Polygon or Cardano or Solana. Now, some of those I do actually hold, but I think we have to remember that Bitcoin is going to be what's here for the longest period of time. And while some alts will run, it's hard to pick, right? If I'm looking at XRP, Polygon, and Cardano here, and one does a 10x and Bitcoin does a 5x, right? The other do 3x's. People will still be on me about the one that did 10x and I didn't buy, but the safer play is Bitcoin, and it still has a lot of price appreciation in my mind. Now, let me know your thoughts about this underneath the video. Do you think we're getting ready for another big run? I think we do have to remember there's PPI coming in. There's the Fed meeting next week. There are some negative catalysts that could come in, so just be careful. Keep your head about you. I think we should enjoy today because it's always nice when we see a big green day, but remember, big red days are where we start to make money because we're buying on dips. That's what I've been doing over the last, a year? We've seen more and more red. So it has been painful, but on days like this, it makes it all much better. Let me know your thoughts, though, underneath the video. Again, join the Patreon in case you want to see exactly what I'm buying and selling.